Ivona is a sign language interpreter from, in Croatian it's Udruga gluhih I nagluhih Primorsko-goranske županije. In English is the Association of the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, Primorje-Gorski Kotar County. In short, it's UGIN. So every time I say UGIN, I mean the association where she works. My name is Maja Ogrizović. I'm a project manager in the field primarily on inclusive culture, and I come from Film Active and HEY. Okay, so the association, they are formed in 1972, so it's 50th anniversary this year. I hope something will be done. As you can assume, they are helping deaf and hard of hearing people in various tasks. For example, some of the tasks, when we started to collaborate, one of the tasks that I was so probably shocked about is that, for example, when a woman which is deaf needs to go to a gynecologist, she needs to take Ivona with her to do the translation or some other very intimate stuff. Just because no one speaks or using sign language. Okay, you have their website. I can send you also this presentation if you're going to need something. Film Active Association, it's formed in 2004, so we are way, way, way younger than UGIN. And our main focus is film. So that's why you will see why we connected. And since 2016, we started various inclusive projects. And here also you have the website, so our inclusive projects. First of all, it's Film Svima, as you can see here everywhere. And I have also badges, so I will ask someone to give the badges around. A film for everyone, I will explain it actually later, sorry. Then just to see how creative we are, the next project is called Film Svima Svugdje, or Film for Everyone Everywhere. Then, watch out, Film Svima Svugdje Online, Film for Everyone Everywhere Online, which is, yes, yeah. And the last one, which is actually the reason why we are here, it's a book for everyone, or in Croatian called Knjiga svima. So we started this project. We started in 2016 with the aim to translate Croatian movies into Croatian Sign Language, because there was like maybe few movies translated, and we felt like this is impossible to have the situation like that, not to have any awarded movie or any recent movie or any movie at all not to be translated. So we are doing it. Okay, what we do, we are choosing various movies. They need to be made in Croatian language. Then we get all the rights from the producers. And then Ivona and the rest of the crew of the translators are practicing the translation, so they need to watch it several times, write all the difficult words and stuff. And then we gather in one space, which is our studio, where we do the translation. And then after all, we do the combination, do the editing of the main movie, and then the addition of the video of Ivona with translation. So if we had enough time, we would watch the whole movie. But now, as we don't have as time as we wanted to have, we will do it shortly. First of all, Film Svima Mediateka, Film Svima Media Library. You can also go there and see all the movies that we have translated. We did it like this because I don't know in your countries how it goes, but here it's quite difficult because we don't communicate, not because we don't want to communicate with the rest of the people who are doing inclusive projects, but we don't have like any central point. We are doing like improvisation, each of us, and then we decided to create this like platform where everyone can see or check if we are translating the same movie, because on the third year of the project, two associations did the translation of the same movie. So what a waste of time, money, and blah. Okay, we won't go there to Mediateca. And now I will show you just a bit of the movie, just to have the idea how we do it. It's nothing special. I believe you already seen it, but just to have something different in the projection. Okay, this movie is from Croatian director, very young. Her name is Sara Grgurić, and the movie is called U šumi. Just a bit, because it's 18 minutes long. Okay, if we had more time, we would watch it, but I think it's not necessary. I just wanted to show you how we include the video of the translator and how we shrink the main movie and just this addition, and of course the subtitles. I will explain you why we need all of this. No, maybe now it's the time to explain. We need all of this because the sign language interpreter video, it's necessary for deaf people, and for hard of hearing it's okay to have only subtitles because of the difference in education, and I will talk about it a bit later. So the extension is called Film svima svugdje, film for everyone everywhere. Its main goal was not only to communicate with the deaf society but also with the hearing society, to tell them that it's not only, I mean, the main goal is to tell them, okay, if you see the inclusive cultural practice, for example, some film projection on, or whatever, yeah, something, please do come. Buy the ticket, sit there, and tell to the organizers that you want to have the inclusive society. It's not only enough to say, yeah, I'm for it. Just go there and watch the movie like this. And then we will re-educate the society. I know it sounds like, come on, but we will do it by coming there and giving money and giving our bodies in this space and saying, yes, we want to have this kind of world. Okay, we do it in 4 steps: organizing projections in various elementary schools, doing workshop on media culture, this is done by me, inclusive culture by Ivona, and also workshop in sign language. We would really love to show you how we do it by the end, so maybe you will come home, you will go home with some words in Croatian Sign Language learned. Okay, the extension of the extension is European Social Fund project, which is now in its ending. We are going to finish in June 2002. We had 10 schools and 130 participants in the project, all kids, and we are trying to, we are imagining like we are putting the seed and maybe it will grow in like 10 years, 20 years, maybe there will be some gynecologists who will learn how to sign, and then women could go there and be like feeling like a whole person without having Ivona there. Okay, Knjiga svima, book for everyone. We are doing it mainly in collaboration with the Rijeka City Library, then with the Association of Blind People, Primorje Gorski Kotar. Emil is the president. You had with him the session before us. And this year, we had it for the first time. And I brought you just to see, because I believe that no one has DVD in the laptops, but whatever, so maybe someone can give it and show to people. And we also did like this inclusive bookmarks with several times written Knjiga svima, or book for everyone. So I only have one, so sorry for, okay. Yeah, the result was these 4 books, inclusive books, which are at the same time, let's say, adjusted to deaf and hard of hearing, and also for blind, but also for kids who still don't read. So we had the situation in pandemic, so many things were closed. For example, someone who lives in the rural area couldn't maybe approach, couldn't get in touch with some content, so we tried to bridge this with these kind of things. And possibly the biggest thing that happened in this project is that the Rijeka City Library created a inclusive fund. Is it fund the word? I don't know. Yeah, inclusive something. So, collection, yes, which is called also Book for Everyone. Okay, we're doing it at the same stages as we did, as I explained you, with film Svima. So after we choose the books, we have only one step more. We have this, as you can see, the third line, Tete pričalice, which I translated as aunties storytellers. It's a great project. I'm sorry not to have the time to explain you everything. They did the readout, so we didn't hire professional actors. We didn't do it like very serious. We decided to choose women who are doing running this project of reading out loud books to the kids in hospital. So they have this like empathy and emotion, and they are the best. So they read all the books, and we did first the audio book. Then Ivona and the rest of the crew got the audio book. They tried to understand the book by the audio version, not the one hard copy. And the third step would be shooting the video itself. Blah. This is the poster. You probably saw it if you were in Dječja kuća. If not, you will see it on Friday in the library. I will skip this, and now you can see inclusive audio book for a few minutes of the book called Hrkalo.
Izdanja. Gradska knjižnica Rijeka kroz inkluzivni fond Knjiga svima. Knjiga je snimljena u audio formatu u studiju Radio Roža u svibnju 2021. Tekst čitala teta pričalica Mihaela Damijanović. Snimatelj Davor Poptankovski, Popi. Za snimanje korišteno tiskano izdanje izdavača Evenio d.o.o. Varaždin, listopad 2013. ISBN 978 953 56157 81. Audio knjiga je nastala u sklopu projekta Knjiga svima. Projekt Knjiga svima provode Film Aktiv, Udruga gluhih i
So this is at the beginning of the book. You have all this, the publisher and the stuff. That's why it's so boring, and she's just standing. But it was necessary. Explanation of the front page. I will skip it a bit so you can see how it goes. So this is still front page, and then we did this combination. This is the original illustration from the book, just added Knjiga svima, book for everyone, and did some, as you can see here probably. Our graphic designer just edited in the collaboration with the illustrator to make it maybe visually more interesting than do it. And you can see how Sandra, the translator, she's moving from one point to another because the illustration had the first, the prednost. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was the first thing. Croatian translator. Yeah, and you saw in the movie that Ivona was all the time standing in the same place. So this is the difference. Yes, and then one thing which is important here is that I think you talked with Emil about it. You saw that this is not a clean audiobook. It's not, as you heard, which is good for people listening on this audio device. This was not made only for blind people. That's why we have this combination, because it was also made for hearing kids in, let's say, rural areas. So we made a compromise. Emil was our mentor in here, so he said it's fine. But just to know that it's a bit different. And also, not only that we did this DVD, we have it, we have like a movie, and then the other file is audio file, cut in those files so it can be heard on this audio device. Okay, one thing which is quite important for us, just to mention here, is deaf and hard of hearing people. You would say like, okay, why do they need any kind of inclusion regarding books? So they can see, they can read. But in Croatia, I assume probably elsewhere also, is a situation that they don't follow the same education curriculum in the sense of language. For example, I will tell you in Croatian, because we have these different verb forms and also nouns for in feminine and masculine difference. So we have jučer sam išla u školu, I would say it in Croatian, but she will sign, I yesterday go, like pidgin English, but in English it doesn't sound, I yesterday go school. That's why when they start reading, it's filled with words like, what's this? You know, it's like super chaotic, and that's why deaf and hard of hearing people, at least in Croatia, have like a super low rate in reading skills. That's why also the translators are needed. So uneven grammar learning, and of course they have this lack of reading habits, which is like normal. Our goal, I will read it because it's important for me, is to create supportive and stimulating surroundings so people with disabilities could have a chance to explore their needs and talents. It's not enough just to make it like semi-inclusive, like say, aha, we have something for deaf, but we don't have for blind, but we don't have, I know it sounds like a postmodern, like everything for everyone, but we need to do it now like this. So those people wouldn't be shaped into stereotypes. I'm saying it because 2 days ago was a historical event, and you know, actually 3, or yeah. Does anyone know what I'm showing here? No. Okay. This is the image from the still from the movie called Coda, which won the Oscars. So Coda is okay, Coda, can we explain what is Coda? Coda is, for example, Ivona. It means children of deaf adults. So Ivona can hear, but her parents are deaf, so her first language was sign language. And if you saw Coda, you can understand why is this so complicated for people like this. Just an example. If her parents got divorced, Ivona would need to go to the court and translate for dad, translate for mom, translate, you understand this is for the psychology, I mean, it's super complicated. So, Coda is the first motion picture starring a predominantly deaf cast in leading roles to win Best Picture. This is the first, wow. The second one is Troy Kotsur is the first, I don't know if I said it right, first deaf male actor to win an Oscar, and only the second deaf actor that won an Oscar after co-starring leading role actress from the Coda. She won it in '87 for The Children of the Lesser God. So this was a huge visibility for a deaf community, also for sign language, also for deaf actors. And this year's Oscars telecast featured American Sign Language interpretation for the first time. It wasn't available directly on the main broadcast, or but you could go on the YouTube and watch it there with a sign language interpreter. So, you saw it. We were very proud, and we talked the morning after. So you had here, I don't know if this can, yeah, it can? No. Ah, yeah, oh yeah, sorry. So this is the sign language interpreter. He's signing for them. But we have also the other one, which is signing for us. So this was like, woo, super exciting moment when you realize that not only one came there, but 2 of them, so they had it like, done properly. And like a bomb, it took them only 94 years. Like, come on. So let's make it better. And now we'll do something. I hope you won't kill us, because now you will do some practice. We will do 2-handed alphabet, if you're interested. So we were discussing, should we do the international, should we do Croatian, should we do Latvian, should we do Italian, we will do Croatian. So you will go back home and speak fluently sign language, Croatian sign language. Okay, so we have it. It's quite okay. We brought with us 4 posters, and I know it's 5 organizations, so one will get it later. You can do it later, yeah. So you can take it home, and I also can give you the version, like the printable one, if you want to do it. I mean, it's Croatian alphabet. So we will go through the alphabet, and then you will sign your name and sign your the organization that you're coming from. Is it okay? We'll try to do it. Okay, I will. I will do it without the mics. Okay, so this is what we do in the Film Svima Svugdje project, as you know, with the kids. We do it just to loosen up a bit the atmosphere. So first, you need to prepare all the body parts that are going to be used. So of course, we need arms. Then we need, I mean, you are sitting here for a few days. Okay, to do the elbows. Then, you know, the whole body is here necessary. You can also like open up, do it up, like we were always saying, like picking the apples and stuff. Like do it in one side and the other side. Okay, now you think that you're ready, but you're not. The second part is the face. So you probably saw that Ivona was, you know, she was like using the whole face. So that's why it's necessary that you use it. I try to realize that you have all the muscles everywhere. Okay, we are ready? Yes. Okay, so let's start with the alphabet. We're doing two-handed, so you can do it also. So letter A is done. You do like the kissing moment, and then you make a tent. Tent is made with, as kids say, with a dirty finger. You do it here, you can put fingers down or here. So it's A. Okay, letter B is the kissing letter. So it's B. C is simple. We have also two signs, two letters which is Ch, the hard one, and the Ch, the light one. So forget about it, so it's C. Yeah. D. Okay. D. You do the big belly, D. Then E, Ivona usually says this is like a game of holes we had when we were kids, like something. So it's E. F, you can do it in two ways, like this or like this. You just choose what works best. F, G, G. H is like hashtag. I, J, you can do it like this. It's here. It's written where is J, 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 J. Yeah, you can see it. Also, sometimes it's okay for this, but Ivona says that it's easier to understand when you do it like this. J, then K. Okay. K, L. Then M, you do with the left hand, you show us the left hand, and then 3 fingers here, M. N is the same thing, but only 2 fingers. How would you say O?
Like this.
Yeah, like this. O, P, znaš ti Q? Okay, no Q. R. R. S is the same as C, the logic, you just write it. A, B, C, D, E, G, H, I, J, K, L, S, T. No, T. T. U. No, we know W, no X. We know W.
Y.
Y, Y, and Z. Okay. If you want to be super inclusive, and when someone who is deaf comes and you want to say, hey, my name is, can I help you? You would say it, this is my, now, name, with the thumb. You do it, my name, no is. So my name, blah. Does anyone want to be a volunteer and to try in front of everyone? I can see someone who maybe wants to. Who wants to be? Yes. Just one applause for you. This is the applause for the people. Okay. Please don't have a complicated name.
It is.
Okay.
Oh, it's
okay. Congratulations. Does anyone wants to do it? You don't have to come here. You can just go there, just stand and spell it, just to check if you understood. Yes. Okay. Please also don't have a complicated name. Yes. No, great. Like yes, you can. You can. My name. M-A-N-U-E-L.
Yes, yes. Second name.
My second name.
Doing it.
I was working in Tech.Library 2 years, and we
You visited.
visited the organization with
Deaf and hard of hearing.
yes.
Oh, so professional.
So my second name.
Bravo. Bravo. Okay, if anyone wants to do it, we have how many more minutes? This is like a okay, we have 8 minutes. So if anyone wants also to sign, or maybe to sign the association where you come from, or the name of your country, or anything else. If you want, you can come, because Ivona is the only person that knows how to do it. Also, maybe we can do few words in Croatian sign language. For example, book, library, lunch, coffee, yes.
Samo ćemo knjigu.
Da, daj mi kavu. Okay, so the book, how would you say the book? It's the book. Like it's the book.
Okay.
Kako bi bila knjižnica? Library. Ah. So you're working it quite easy. Yeah. Okay, lunch and coffee. Eat. I'm hungry.
No.
So
Eat.
Eat. This is eat. I'm hungry. Yeah, you can relate. In coffee. What? They What? We are grinding coffee first.
Coffee.
A tea. So for tea lovers, you just, yeah, and coffee. Any words that you want to know? For example, how do we say Slovenia? Slovenia. So you're from Slovenia. Which countries are here? Romania. What does it mean?
Kao rumeni, ono, kao,
Yeah.
to je ostalo vjerojatno po tom dijelu.
We say Rumunjska, which comes from, even though it's a different word, Rumena, like Rumena, which means like being red in face. So that's why it's so simple. And also one very interesting thing in the culture of deaf is when you come in some group of deaf people, they will understand your names. For example, they got it, my name is Maya, but no one ever called me Maya there, but I got a nickname. For example, Ivona has a nickname when she was super kid, she's Tin. And I didn't get that sign. I got, something very similar. It's this, because I have a I have gray hair and I'm young, so that's why it was weird. So it's a bit inappropriate also. I mean, it wouldn't be maybe understood in every group, because they would, if someone had a big nose, it's normal for them to say, yeah, you know, this guy with a big nose, you know. They take your flaw and make it into your comparative advantage. They would be, it's like, the fat one, yes, it's normal. They would do it like
I
chubby.
ostane taj znak.
And it goes, it stays with you even though if you change something, but I will always be the great one. Yes.
A question. You said that library was this and this.
Yes.
But perhaps this means that the real word is library is like place of books.
Yes. Yes.
So if I have to say another place, I don't know, kind of shops or other things, I have also this sign, but other or
Mesnica, na primjer. How do we say the butcher shop?
Ne, stavlja se ovo kao ustanova. Knjižnica je ustanova.
Aha, this means institution.
Institution.
So any other institution
Znači institucija
could.
može biti policija, bolnica.
Kako kažeš policija?
Policija.
So this is the police. It's very similar to, you know, like librarians and the police. And
Ali za shop kao dućanin ne.
for the shops, it's different. So if you want to know some other.
but for example museum.
A museum. Because you showcase something.
Show.
It's the
Isto ide u...
Isto institution. Okay, so it's the museum
To je nešto
institution.
što je ono.
Okay.
Dovozite.
They are driving you there. You're coming, it's not good. You're going there, it's okay, yeah. Okay, that's it, what we prepared. This was a part when we wanted from you to present, if we had more time, to present your associations and in the sign language. And the end is thank you. If you want, you have.
I just wanted one short question. How much different is the sign language? I don't know, Croatian, Romanian, Italian, English.
It's
German?
very different.
It's very different.
Yes.
They're completely different
Completely
languages.
So there is no possibility of understanding. I mean,
Deaf people, yes.
yes. No, that's it.
Yes, they can understand. Because they have an international sign language.
Okay, that was a mess.
Yes.
Okay, great.
But international sign language, for example, is not commonly used in Croatia. So if you don't travel a lot, for example, there's one Christian, a member of the Ugin Association. He lives in London and he was often traveling everywhere. He's super fluent in this international. We say it English, but it's some combination of everything. But for example, the girl that is his age, but all the time living in Croatia and being only here. I don't know if Jacqueline speaks.
No.
So she doesn't speak. And one thing, because you did it good, I showed you the coda, the sign from coda. You saw something like this, and this is a great international sign.
This.
But she said very much.
No, yes, very much.
But we can say it. So this sign, yes. Do you know how it got like this? It means like super rock stars. I love you. Yeah. Yeah, so love your...
Very much.
And this means very much. So you need to practice. That's why we're... Love your community, love your deaf community, love your blind community, love your every community, and please don't wait for someone else to do it, because it's simple and you can do it yourself. This is it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So posters, and this is the program of this year's Film for Everyone, with the poster, and so if you want. Yeah, and sorry. This is the priručnik. Yes, a handbook for children, and I mean it's in Croatian, so it's not interesting for you. But just to show the way that we are trying to do it, to put it also in schools. So every teacher understands, I have to do it like this, and they have also this alphabet, and they're using it for inclusive classes, let's call it like this, in the school. Thank you so much.